Tristan Almada is the founder of Lab Coat Agents, the largest real estate community with over 160,000 members.
It helps that at the time when I started, I was in the top 1% of all real estate agents in the world.
I'm curious, how do you do it?
So I actually do shit, right? It's not like I don't show up. Followers will show up now and then when you pop up. A community is very different because the people that show up consistently, because they believe in that thing that you are showing up as. Some of our written posts have gotten millions of views and interactions just over the last 2 weeks. We, in this world of marketing and branding and community growth, we need to consistently be comfortable failing and testing things out. This place is so saturated now.
What direction should they go to find that answer to then build a community?
Welcome back to the Amazing Marketing Show, where we talk about all things marketing. Some people build audiences and some people monetize audiences. And today's guest, guess what, does both. Tristan Almada is the founder of Lab Coat Agents, the largest real estate community with over 160,000 members, creator of a brilliant tribe platform helping entrepreneurs grow through content, connection, and purpose. He's also a former Success Magazine editor, the host of Brilliant Thoughts. He's also consulted with the biggest companies in the world like Facebook, Instagram. We're going to get into that in this episode. We're going to also talk about AI. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. I'm excited for this episode. Before we get to Tristan, I want to introduce Chris Gray, my co-host. Chris, what's going on?
Dimitri, what up?
I am living the dream and excited to talk to Tristan. Tristan, thank you for coming on the show. We're so much looking forward to this. Tell us about you.
I'm happy to be here, guys. Thank you. And I was staring at Chris's t-shirt. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. Soul Glow. Pretty sexy, man. I like it. I like it. Listen, guys, I'm out of Los Angeles, California. I started in real estate, of all things, and by chance, I was speaking around the nation for Realtor.com. It's like a Zillow competitor. And I look over to my wife on a flight and I say, hey, this thing's not going to last forever. What do you think we should do in doing the next thing? And she said, you should start a Facebook group about what you're talking about on stage. And I was like, a Facebook group? I thought it was stupid. I was like, why can't we start a blog? Right? I was not on Facebook. And so the next day I started a Facebook group because my wife was right. So, and then the rest was history.
Tristan, you have built a massive community. And my question to you is, what do most people get wrong when it comes to building communities?
Yeah, the very first thing, man, that people get wrong is they start asking, where's the money? How are we going to make the money on this? It every single time. And a lot of the people that just from you sending me that, telling me that link, I was like, oh, I've talked to some of these people before. Conversations have started. So give me the breakdown of the money. I'm like, listen, if we're going to start with that, you're going to automatically fail because people aren't stupid. We don't live in a world where people can't smell your commission breath, is what we call it as real estate agents. Right? They can smell that shit from around the corner and they look at you and like, I don't want to work with this person. They just want my money, right? They want to feel that you're sincere in your approach in whatever it is that you're doing. And sometimes, here's the hard part. Sometimes it takes years to build before you see anything happen. And a lot of people aren't prepared for that. This is not a very short journey. In some cases, you'll see what appears to be a short journey because all of the hard work that we've been putting out for years pops on one video. And then that creates your audience, right? We've seen that. In fact, one of my friends from that thing you went to, a really close friend of mine was Austin Armstrong, and his he blew up on YouTube overnight while he was in Mexico, right? So same thing. It's like, dude, all this hard work we put into free, all of a sudden will pay off, and people don't understand that it's all of our consistent testing, all of our consistent showing up for years that finally they're like, oh, it fucking works. It actually works. And then the other piece to this is that sometimes some influencers, and you and I, all three of us know influencers, creators that have millions of followers, but haven't really understood how to monetize this. Like, I get calls, texts, emails, DMs. Hey, I see you're doing this and you're doing well. Can you help me? I need to understand how you monetized it. And dude, I stumbled on it by accident years ago because we've been doing this for a long time. And that is a big thing, massive thing. It's a monetization of your influence. People don't understand how to do it. That's a big one.
Well, on that note, let's just jump right into it because I'm curious. How do you do it?
Well, I accidentally did it, and then I'll tell you all of the different ways that we've been able to do it. Number one was, because I'm in real estate, I happen to also use a lot of products. So it helps that at the time when I started, I was in the top 1% of all real estate agents in the world. So I actually do shit, right? It's not like I don't show up. It's crazy. And in that process, I was using a product, and that product is actually a really great product. And so they reached out to me. It's a brand deal. And they said, hey, you're using our product. What if we pay you to use it more and to talk about it? And you'll also get a piece of everything that you sell. That's how it happened first. So what happened was, I get this call and I'm like, that sounds awesome. Let's do it. And then 3 months in, they send me a check for $20,000. And I was like, wow, I was like, that's crazy. I didn't even have a business account under the brand name that I had to go open one up. I was like, oh shit, this is like real money. Like, okay.
At what point in the group's size was that happening?
It wasn't even big. It was about 10,000 people at the time. But remember also, Facebook groups were different back then, right? I think what you found now is you're finding a lot more noise, a lot more saturation, right? Because now you've got a layer of AI on top of everything. And we need to show up a little bit differently, right? More niched down, more consistent. And I don't know that we would have the same results if we started now that we had then. It would have to be multi-layered, which we'll get to. So one, the affiliate program, I was like, oh, I never even knew about affiliates. So that was one. And I was like, okay. And by the way, I haven't done affiliates for a long time because I find that most companies can't even track them now. And then we get screwed because affiliates, like, okay, you heard it with me first, but you ended up going to Joe over there when you heard it the 8th time. It's like, dude, but it started all with me. How do I get compensated for that? Mm-hmm. Right? And unfortunately, it didn't work long term. So I learned the hard way. Second, with whatever you are doing right now, that's what sets you apart. And I don't know what that is for everybody listening in. But if you're think Ikigai, that Japanese philosophy, think Jim Collins, the hedgehog concept, when you've got like, what are you the most amazing at? And because you're the most amazing that you know, mostly more than most people, most amazing at, and it can also make you money, that you could be amazing at something, but it won't make you money, right? What are you most amazing at? Can you make money from it? Number one. And is it a passion, right? So now you've got all three. And for me, it was like, okay, I'm really extremely great at converting online leads, like at an extremely high level. I was a telemarketer for years, went to law school, came out. I could fucking talk to people with my eyes closed and sell them things, but in a very authentic way. And so now I have these online leads that are coming in through Facebook when lead ads was first started, 2015. And we actually have a process and timing. And I'm like, wait a second, lead ads for real estate? I've never seen these. And then we team up with a company that is creating them for the first time. So everything is matching up. And then we start launching this, and then people just line up in the thousands. We take one company, we take ownership of this company because of our influence, right? This is the second thing, part ownership in a company that aligns with everything we're great at. And now we can talk about it like it's nothing because we do it every single day. And then this company grows, and then part of it sells, and then we end up getting a shit ton of money because we just lined up correctly, right? I think this is the piece that we start missing because we see so many different opportunities. We're like, that's good. That's good. Oh shit, that's good. And then we don't know what opportunity to take. I think you have to learn to have the patience to take the opportunity that matches up with what you're really, 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 really great at. It's a passion and people want to buy it. Like you can actually sell it and you can make money, right? And sometimes one of those is missing and you've seen it. Like you're really good at something, but you can't sell it. There's just the audience isn't big enough, right? The TAM is not big enough. And so you have to start thinking along the lines of, okay, what is going to be good for the people that follow me so that whatever I push, whatever I'm behind, is it also going to burn them? And that's a big challenge because you and I both know people that just push whatever falls in front of their lap. And then 2 sponsorships next, a year, 2 years from now, it's over. They burn themselves out because they sold out, man. Like we've been doing this for 12 years and people still follow us and they buy the shit we tell them to because we actually use it. We test it out. So there's a big difference there. I would say the next step in the next evolution of what you see, especially with AI, you can team up with a coder to maybe a full stack coder, a designer, and an assistant coder, a team of 3, plus you with your ideas and your audience and your vision, create a product, software that you can consistently grow and then have something that you're actually selling and owning. I think that's the future of a lot of influencers and a lot of creators. Things can be built so much faster now and it's going to just get better. But you will actually be able to scale something bigger with a very, very small team that aligns with what you're great at. And that we haven't seen as much lately. But I'd like to see more creators align themselves with things that they're actually great at, not just jumping in and saying, well, that's going to make me money. And that patience, that's hard, man. That's hard right there. That patience.
Tristan, we mentioned community so far, and we also mentioned followers. And so I'm going to ask a question. It may seem like a dumb question, but I have to ask anyways. What is the difference between having a ton of followers versus having a community?
Followers will show up now and then when you pop up, right? Depending on your audience, especially now that social media is more like interest media, right? It pushes you depending on whether or not that video or that post is gaining a lot of momentum. Followers will show up now and then. A community, though, a community is very different because the people that show up to that, the people show up consistently because they believe in that thing that you are showing up as. Whether it's kayaking, you love cats, you love vegetable gardening, you love Fortnite, whatever it is, man. Like people show up because they're like, I wonder what Chris is saying about Fortnite today. This is so cool, right? It's the same interest. And that interest drives people because that's what we're about. We come together as a community, like well, all of our ancestors, it all came down to community building based on our interests, our beliefs, our principles, right? It's the same thing when we're building communities, and companies forget that. It's like, wait a second, we can build a community around what people think we are. Like, look at Tesla's community, look at Peloton's communities. And people forget that piece. And when they forget it, they start treating it just like a business, and they start losing the community aspect to it. Because part of the community aspect to it is people are showing up. It's like, what's new? What are other people talking about? Fortnite. I play Fortnite, so I have to be like Fortnite, right? What are other people talking about Fortnite? What skin was released? Oh, so cool. What are the hacks that we're seeing, right? Interesting. And it all revolves around that. And then every once in a while, you'll laugh, you'll comment, right? You'll get into an argument with somebody. It's part of the community. Or people will be like, oh no, Fortnite's down. What the hell happened? Right? Customer service. And companies don't know how to embrace that because it's so completely new. It's alive. And that's the difference between a follower and building a community. Now you can have both. You see it on YouTube very well, right? Where one person shows up consistently, and that following shows up in the comments, and all of a sudden it's like a community. Right? Every single video is a form of community.
Really quick shout out to you and Fortnite. My daughter, she's 8, and one of the ways we bond is her putting me onto these games. And Fortnite is an interesting mix of shooting and building and getting creative or whatever. So anyway, shout out to you and Fortnite.
Dude, I love that. Yeah. It's a bonding time. That's how I got into it. My 2 kids are like, Dad, you want to play? I'm like, what? What should we play? They're like, there's this game. I'm like, okay, let's go. And now I'm hooked. Terrible.
Okay, so I want to come back to the first question where you said this wouldn't work now, and there's a certain layering process to it. But before you say what the layering process, I kind of want you to walk us through the path that you've taken your career, so we can kind of set this up a little bit. So you started the group, and then things started to happen.
No. It started before that. So here's the piece that's overlooked sometimes, and you guys will feel this, and that's that we all have something we love or a profession that we've put in a lot of years into, right? So I've been in real estate. I was in real estate since 2004. That's when I got my license. So I did amazing. The market tanked all across the US, right? People lost their homes, all that shit. And then I had to reinvent myself. I figured, what is Zillow? What is Realtor.com? What's Facebook? And then I started doing great again. And in that process, we're looking at 2011, 2012, online leads. They were all brand new in our world, online leads, like just brand new by a few years. And this is the investment part. I was the number one spender of Realtor.com leads. We're talking millions a year. And so that gives me a lot of experience in failing, trying to figure shit out, right? And in that, I discover best practices because we're spending a lot of money. And in those best practices, I have now the ability to talk about it because we're spending so much fucking money, and I needed to convert or I would just break the bank. So in that process, I brought it to people, and people responded because they're like, oh shit, that actually works. Now we're converting. That's the piece that we sometimes forget, right? Our expertise that we bring to whatever we're talking about. Like if I was amazing at Fortnite, fuck, I'd show up there every night, but I suck, right? I'm fighting bots and I'm losing. So I'm like, this game's not for me. So now you take that and you're like, okay, now you show up and you say, I'm going to build a community and hopefully people show up. Well, when I built that community just on Facebook first, it was off of every webinar I was doing with realtor.com, off of every speaking engagement from stage. Hey, I've got a Facebook group, off of the newsletter that I was sending out, off of every real estate agent I was meeting. Hey, I've got a Facebook group, right? So all that work and effort, and then bringing in the right members to help you, because you also need people that believe in you. And those became our admins or our moderators, saying, hey guys, you're showing up, help us grow this because you believe in this. And then they started bringing in people, right? That's part of the whole community, the culture. And then it started getting a life of its own because I only started with one thing, which was online lead conversion and closing. And then we had other agents say, hey, I'm also good at door knocking, or I'm also good at doing this. And then all of a sudden the community started just sharing. And in our world, that was actually not a thing, man. Like our world, nobody would share their best practices. You'd have to pay for it. And I was offering that for free. And I was bringing people together because of that. And so what happened is that started growing, and that's where we got our opportunities, because we started showing up sincerely and authentically, and it wasn't to monetize anything. The monetization came by accident. I did start asking, like, man, there's a lot of time I'm spending on this. I wonder where the money is, but I guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, kind of answered it. I also am curious about where you started going, where the companies that create the groups online themselves are actually coming to you and asking you for advice.
Yeah, so there was a progression. There was a progression to that too, and I'll answer it with the story of how I got there and then what we're doing now. So the group is growing. And in one of the opportunities that I got to speak at one event, Facebook was in the audience, and they got two things from our talk, which was, one, we're doing lead ads, and nobody was doing lead ads at the time for real estate, right? Because it was brand new. And then number two, we had a Facebook group that they loved. They're like, oh shit, this guy's got a Facebook group too, right? So they wait for me to finish, and they say, hey, you got these two things. Can we fly you up to Palo Alto so we can talk about what you've got here? And so flew up. By the end of the conversation, they're like, do you want to run our real estate advisory board that we just started right now this second because of you? I'm like, sure. Fuck, I'm in, of course. Like when Facebook says shit. And so that then led me on a different trajectory, which allowed me to see things that I wouldn't have seen before within Facebook, within Instagram, the route they were going, why groups are so important, right? All this data. And that then I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know we were in this amazing trajectory of building these communities. And I didn't understand how important communities were, specifically on Facebook. And so then from there, I said, well, since we've done it once, I wonder if we can do it again. So I started building more communities on Facebook, and they started working. And the key piece was, hey, let's niche down on one topic and then show up like that consistently. And we started doing that to the point that a lot of companies started taking notice and saying, man, I wish we could do that because we've got a product, but we just don't know how to build a community. We don't even understand what it is. So they started reaching out to me and to my business partners and saying, hey, we've got this. You've heard of us. How can you help us with our customers for retention, for product announcement, for all of this? And so what we started doing is creating a program for companies to not only build these communities on Facebook, but also make sure they have the correct newsletter to build those out, and then to run part of their socials, and then just creating this overall world that you see a lot of great companies have now, but don't know how to run.
Speaking of the great companies that have communities and have done it right, we opened the show with what mistakes people make, just individuals make when they're trying to build their communities. Now you have a few successful brands out there, let's say like Harley, right? Who's done a good job of building a community. But then there's other brands out there who have not done anything or have done a terrible job with building a community. So what advice do you give to brands, or actually what is the thing that most brands get wrong when it comes to building a community?
Most brands get this wrong, hands down. They don't listen to the complaints. They think that in the comments, specifically in the actual community itself, whether it's Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever, that shouldn't be treated like customer service, right? It should only be announcements from the brand. Anytime you see that, they completely miss the whole picture, right? The thing that people want is they want you to respond in the community with empathy, and they want you to respond so that all the other 1,000 people that aren't saying anything can see the culture. And they're like, oh, that's actually really cool the way they responded. Right. And then you start building culture based on how you respond to those comments, to those questions, to the problems. And companies sometimes don't see that, which is crazy. That's been the biggest one. That's actually something we consistently have to be like, no, guys, this is customer service, right? The group you're building, you have to actually answer those questions there. You can't take them to be like, yo, there's a chat in our website. Go over there. The moment you do that, you lose the community. You have to answer the question where the customer is. And the other piece that is a surprise to most people, to most companies, is the 7 most visited websites in the world. I mean, it's easy. Google, number 1. But it's so surprising to see when they get surprised. It's like number 2 is YouTube. Number 3 is Facebook. Number 4 is Instagram. Number 5 is ChatGPT now. Number 6 is X. And number 7 is Reddit. Like, their brains get blown up. It's like, the majority of those are social media. That's where your customer is. And where are you? Oh, you're not on there? Oh, you don't show up? Oh, you suck at it? Oh, right? It's like, dude, where were you for the last fucking 20 years?
Well, they were probably doing their business as usual and how they grew up doing business, whether it's in-person referrals or going door to door. And now everyone's saying you got to be online, you got to get your brand online. Most people have no idea what they're doing with content, especially when it comes to advertising a brand or marketing a brand in an organic way. And most brands get ignored. But how can a small business stand out and actually get attention and actually start to build community in social media?
Yeah, I think you've got to test out all of the social outlets right now. And you've got to pay attention to what you're putting out there. So if you're starting from scratch, or you already have a great company, but you have no online presence on any of the socials, I'd start with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Those are the places I would start. And then I'd watch Reddit really closely, because all of a sudden it's like on the map again. But out of those 5, you'd say, hey, what's my strategy there for showing up? Easiest is, well, what are you great at? I think people think instantly when they think of social media, they think video. And that's cool. But listen, what are you great at? Are you great at writing? Because some of our written posts have gotten millions of views and interactions just over the last 2 weeks. Just written. What about just graphics? Maybe you're amazing at graphics or taking pictures. It doesn't have to be video. And then if you're great on video and camera, great, amazing, right? But I would ask you first, like, what are you amazing at? And then we start there and saying, great, now you feel comfortable showing up there because you as the owner, you as the brand, you're the one that needs to show up and test things out. So let's do this. Let's go there. And then once we have that outline, we're like, okay, great. Now let's listen to the audience. What do they typically, and they typically know, like, what they want. What does your audience want? Well, they're here to see you, and you seem to be really great at telling me what type of kayaks I should buy, right? Then maybe you should dig deeper on that. Super niched, but I bet you on TikTok, especially right now, you're gonna find a massive audience, and they're all gonna be like, dude, Joe the kayaker. Just every time I need to buy a kayak, or I'm wondering, should I go kayaking here? That's the guy I go to, right? And so it starts with something specifically where you're great at. Is it written? Is it voice, like for podcasts? Is it designed or pictures, or is it video? What does this look like on your end? And then you're like, great, now that I got that, what's my niche? Where am I going to go? And I think that's what people get wrong. Go ahead, shoot.
I want to explore this question of what are you great at? So let's use Dimitri, for example. Dimitri, hands down, is one of the best pay-per-click Google ads, YouTube ads, all that administrators, practitioners I know, hands down, phenomenal.
Nice.
Also, Dimitri is great at giving you the counter view to whatever your point is. He's not a bobblehead. He'll challenge you, make you get better. Phenomenal at both. So Dimitri's trying to figure out, what the fuck am I good at? He's got something that's really tactical, like Facebook ads, which kind of makes sense, which he did. He has an agency, that makes sense. But bear with me with the story. But he also has this thing that's not so concrete as this ability to have a good counter argument. When people are asking themselves, what am I great at? What direction should they go to find that answer to then build a community?
It depends on where you start, right? So I'm going to take the Ikigai Japanese philosophy, or Jim Collins's philosophy from the hedgehog concept, built to last or good to great. So either of those. And I would say, if you're going to start on what you're great at, Dimitri, I would follow with, which one are you more passionate about, right? Which route? And then which one of those can make you money? And which one of those can you show up consistently doing? That's the route I would go. And just off of that, I would say you can mix all of those and say, dude, if you're really great at YouTube ads, and we know YouTube is the second most visited website in the world, and everyone wants to break in on YouTube, I would deconstruct videos and say, hey, look, this video would do really good if you actually did this on the back end, put $10 behind it. This is how I would do it. And it's not what you think. This is how you contradict, right? It's not what, listen, it's not what Gary Vee is saying over here. And that's how I would piece those together. And I think I would watch your videos. Wait, are you already doing that? Is that why you're laughing? Oh.
No, I'm laughing because it sounds like
that was great.
Yeah, we got great copy for a hook already. And we got a copywriter, Tristan.
Well, you're the one who's fucking good at it, not me. Now you piqued my interest. I'm like, interesting. I want to know more about what you're doing on YouTube.
Yeah, I need Chris to sell me a little bit more often. That's I love Chris, that.
It's great. You're his manager, Chris.
Oh,
that's funny. Dude, yeah, man, you've got something there, right? But go through that cycle. Anytime I get stuck on how I'm going to show up, because the other piece to this is, and you guys have been in it for a while, so you'll understand this very well. I feel like I'm always having to recreate myself. And I don't know how long this version of myself online is going to last. Right? And it's like, okay, so I always have to be testing. I'm always testing, because the opposite is, well, I got comfortable. Listen, guys, I used to be good, but people don't like me anymore. It's just, social media sucks. It's not the same. It used to be amazing. And I don't want to talk like that. I'm like, listen, if people aren't following me, if they're not engaging with me, it's my fault, right? I didn't change with the times. I didn't connect with the audience as the audience changed as well. I wasn't there for them. That's part of it.
You weren't there for them. You left them to better and bigger things, maybe.
Yeah, well, but we still want to be there for our audiences.
Yeah, just kidding. Well, okay, I want to mention the elephant in the room, which is AI. You mentioned it a little bit, but some people are scared of AI. Some people think it's great, and people are using it for content. They're kind of clogging the feeds with bad AI content. how should AI be used for building community?
When I look at anything that has a lot of arms or heads, I look at it and I ask myself, how can I simplify this for the average person? Because if we overcomplicate it, it'll look really good, but you'll overcomplicate it for most people and they won't understand it and they won't use it, more importantly. And so the simplest thing you can do right now when it comes to AI is use it to help you create better content. And I'll give you an example because I tested it out. Yeah, I think it was about 60 days ago. I came to the realization that some of my videos, the problem was me, right? I'm always realizing that. but I realized it more 60 days ago, about 60 days ago. And I'm like, oh shit, I set my hooks are fucking terrible lately, right? My engagement is down. What happened? Right? So I went to specifically ChatGPT first and then Claude. And I'm telling you this story because this is what I want everyone to do. This is the easiest thing you can do. I went to ChatGPT first and I said, I reiterated who I was. I'm a real estate agent, and this is what I want to do. Give me 6 ideas of how you think I can better show up based on what you know about me. And so it outlined 6 things. One of those I hadn't thought about for a while. Because remember, I'm trying to recreate me, right? One of those was, Tristan, you've been in real estate for 22 years and you can show up better telling the consumer in general for the nation about real estate, what's happening in real estate, here's the latest, and you can explain it really well. I said, interesting, I like that one. The second one was AI in real estate and AI in helping companies. And I was like, no, I'm going to go with the other one. That's really niche down for me. So I went with the real estate one. And then I said, let's expand on this. What's the latest real estate news? And then it gave me the real estate news. And I'm like, wait a second, why don't I set up a task for every morning at 5 a.m. for ChatGPT to send me the 5 trending real estate news for me and put it in a form where I can read it quickly so that I can get it ready to talk about it if I want to. So every day at 5 a.m., I get an email because ChatGPT emails when you set up a task. I get an email, I get a notification of the latest real estate news. And I'm like, wait a second, what else can I learn? What else can I have ChatGPT send me shit on that I need to know, right? Because I want to read through the noise. There's so much fucking information right now, right? What if I wanted to learn just a little bit more AI every day, 10 minutes? Can I have ChatGPT teach me 10 minutes every day, not repeating the same thing? I go, let's give it a shot. So now I have a task for AI to teach me 5 minutes every day, something new I have a little bit later, 7 a.m. So now I have 2 tasks. I mean, you can add whatever task you want. You can learn a language. You can test out a new recipe, right? You could learn about the Constitution, since everybody wants to know about the Constitution right now, right? You can do whatever. I have those 2 things. So now here's the next piece. I take those 5 and then I'm like, okay, which one of those can I talk about on my video? So I'm like, why don't I talk about all 5? This is 60 days ago. Why don't I talk about all 5? So I grab it and I said, make me a 2-minute transcript that I can use on a video to read because I'm going to use it on an app called Teleprompter. And it's my first time using a teleprompter. I hate teleprompters with a fucking passion. I hate teleprompters so much. And I was so against this. And it was one of my friends who said, just use a teleprompter because it just felt so insincere, right? And I'm so against that. So I throw this into a teleprompter. I'm like, okay, I'll give in after many, many years. I popped it in there. On my phone, the app is called Teleprompter. So I put it in there. After ChatGPT made it natural language, I reviewed it a little bit, made it mine, and I press play, countdown, and I read it. And then I go to CapCut and I edit, right? I didn't even send it to my team. I just edit it myself. And then it's about a minute and 40 seconds. I upload it, and then it starts getting a shit ton of views. And I'm like, oh, fuck, right? I go, so it was me. I do suck. I just needed to trust AI, right? Okay, so I go, okay, I'll keep trying this. So I keep trying it. And then it just gets better and better. And then it goes from, check this out, because I was looking at the analytics. It went from people watching my video for 3 seconds on average. That's how bad it had gotten, to 24 seconds on average now. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Right? So I got out of my own way. This is what I'm always fearing. This is what I'm talking about. It's like, how do I know when I'm in my own way? Right? Oh, the audience will tell me, right? Your shit sucks. So now I was paying attention to different styles. And now about 30 days ago, I'm like, I wonder if this style would work. Same niche, news, trending news. And so now I have it send me trending news that's related to finance and real estate. And dude, that one blew up 1 million views in like less than a day. And it was how Warren Buffett bought stock on D.H. Horton and new construction, new builds. And I was like, who the fuck? Why would people care about that shit? Apparently they do. And it's the style, it's the hook, but more importantly, it's me stepping away from thinking that I know the hook, that I know the consistent engagement pattern, and I could just rely on AI to give it to me. And I think stepping away from that, and it's a big ego move. Like, I guess I don't know enough, right? I'm still learning, and relying on AI a little bit more to give you the stuff that you can then show up as. Here's the key on this. AI is there to give you niched information on where you want to go, but you still need to interpret it. That's how I would use it. It's up to us to give that interpretation and the opinion so that people follow people. People will always follow people. This will always be about who I know, how I connect with them, and how I feel after I connect with them. Right? Now you can talk about how we're building actual software with AI, but I don't want to take people that route. I'm actually building a whole software company on smart plans and drips for agents, on how to use it for online leads and all this shit. But dude, I have a team for that. What we can do today, right now, that you want to show up better for your community, make videos where you don't have to second guess what's a good hook. And the prompt is easy. Write a hook for me that a 0.01% YouTuber would write. Give me 4 options. Boom, done. And it gives them to you. It's like, oh, that's a good one. I would have never thought on that. And then you give them the article and it does it all. And dude, check this out. I did the same thing. I'm like, I can't believe this worked. Well, that's what I thought. Like, I can't believe this shit works. Why don't I have it create a title for me and a subheading? And I'll put the shit on a graphic. And now my graphics on Instagram are blowing the fuck up. Like news, stuff on like the stupid shit that you wouldn't believe. I'll give you one that just blew up 2 days ago. Miami crowned world's biggest housing bubble. It's got 966 shares. What do we got? We're at 100,000 views. And I got a shit ton of comments I have to respond to.
And the community's happening in the comments section.
Dude, tell me about it. It's like, you just have to pay attention to what's working. And a lot of the times we live in this little flywheel of fear where we're like, well, what if I do that again and it doesn't get the views? And then what? Right? And then you're too scared to do it again because you're like, what if it didn't work? Or what if it doesn't work? Right? And then you get stuck. And I think we in this world of marketing and branding and community growth, we need to consistently be comfortable failing and testing things out, knowing that this is always going to change. And if you don't change with it, you're going to become irrelevant to your audience because this place is so saturated now. And it's a different world.
This episode is packed full of good tactical advice. I've taken some notes here on some things I'm going to do. We're talking about AI. We're talking about content. You have a book, the real estate prospecting. Create $1 million life through relationships, online leads, technology, and social media. This is the first edition. It's on Amazon, 136 reviews, doing great, 4.8 stars. Check out the book. My question, though, how it relates to what we're doing right now, man, is in the age of AI. This is, I guess, it's more of a personal question. Yeah. People have told me to write a book, but I'm like, in the age of AI, I'm like, how? Even if I wrote the most authentic book that I just use, it's all my thoughts, but AI just helps me clean it up. I feel like in today's age that even good, genuine content could be viewed as it was written by AI. 100%. So for people like me, so what are your thoughts on writing a book today in the age of AI?
Dude, I published that book, and literally as soon as it was released, ChatGPT was announced. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Yeah, it was terrible. Harvard professors that have written for Harvard Press and Stanford professors that have written for Stanford Press. I've asked the exact same question. And the way they're using it is they're embracing AI in two ways. One, they create rough drafts, right? Whether it's written or typed. They upload it to AI and they say, what am I missing as far as ideas? Where else can I go? And then AI will take you in different directions. You take that back, and then you finish that complete outline, and then flesh it out. Throw it back in, and now you have a full editor, especially on Claude, right? You throw it in there, it'll edit everything beautifully, and then you can keep those M dashes, those EM dashes, the stupid little lines. You can keep those in there, or you could remove them. But I would say embrace it, man. Like, everyone is doing it. Just make sure that you don't lose your voice in the process, because that's what people want. People want you. People want you in it.
All right, Tristan, if people want to, well, first of all, if you want to follow Tristan on social media, just go ahead and click the links in the description, get on the Instagram. And what if they're interested in getting some help with their brand and building a community? What's the best way to get help?
Go to my Instagram and DM me. I respond to most of the DMs. Unless you're like an AI bot. It's like trying to sell me shit. I don't respond to that. Yeah, go to Instagram.
Okay, so DM Tristan. Don't sound like a bot. Don't try to sell something on the first go on the first.
Yeah, wait a little bit, and then try
and Tristan, looks like you have a newsletter too, A Brilliant Tribe.
I do, man. It goes out every Tuesday. It's 7+1. I started it when I was working with Success Magazine, and I was interviewing all these other people. And then it was just the things that I'm most excited about, what I'm reading, what I'm testing out. It's just, if you want to know what's in my brain and how I'm digesting it, you can join that one.
Yeah. So if you want a shortcut, instead of trying to figure it all yourself, you go ahead and join this newsletter, Brilliant Tribe newsletter, and we have that link below. At the same time, you join our newsletter and you get the notes to this show.
Heck yeah.
We make everything really easy.
Wait, how do I join your newsletter?
Our newsletter is it's amazingmarketingshow.com. And then, honestly, the link is in the description. So whatever the URL is there, but I'm sure it's off the homepage somewhere.
I see it.
Yeah, so we got notes from every episode, and we also have, and by the way, these episodes, guys, if you haven't listened to some of these, we have incredible guests, including Tristan here. So, Tristan, thank you so much for joining us. I learned a lot. I know Chris learned a lot as well. We're both trying to build communities, and we're going to take this advice to heart ourselves, and I'm sure our listeners will too.
Yeah, man. Listen, if you guys have any questions ever, I'd love to talk to you guys too, because I can learn from you, Dimitri, and I can learn from you, Chris. So I just subscribed to your newsletter.
Boom. Love it.
Thank you, Tristan.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.